Hello and welcome to this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me, where we focus less on the this and more on the ability of what we can do. Join us each and every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live on the Disability Global Broadcast, Facebook Live, and LetGoRadio.net. Looking forward to seeing you there. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another Wednesday edition of My CP Does Not Define Me. I'm your host, D to the J with the roll away, and you will notice that, yes, we are a little late today, an hour later than normal, an hour and a half later than normal. Normally I go on at 7, but today something came up and I had to go on at 8:30. So, welcome everybody to the show. I do apologize for my tardiness, but I let everybody know on Facebook. Actually, Kim let everybody know for me. Hey, Thomas, how are you? For those of you coming in to the show, thank you for sticking with me at this late hour. And I do apologize for my tardiness. All right, now, today we're going to talk about something that a lot of people do, but they don't think about it. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about, I'll get to it or I'll get to you. All right. So what this is, what I'm talking about here, and what I'm, in the mood for today is a lot of people, they say things and they do things differently. So I'm going to mention this, and I did an episode a while back on procrastination. The thing about procrastination, and here's the thing, and I'm gonna start this off this way. Don't say what you don't mean. When you talk to somebody, and I'm gonna throw the disability card out the window for a second because I want to get around that. Hey, what's up, Matthew? Um, I want to throw the disability card out the window for a second because I want to point something out. Aside from people, we're all human, and everybody does things differently. Okay, everybody goes through things differently. Everybody has challenges that are different. But don't tell someone something just because you think they want or need to hear it. Now, this is what I'm talking about. We've been doing a charity drive for the past 2 months now for St. Jude, and my fiance is making bracelets, and we are selling them and have been selling them for two different organizations. Now, as I have said before, some people are donating, some people are buying bracelets. We're shipping bracelets out, charging shipping. But what we've started to notice now is people will have us make an order and then not show up. Here's the thing, I am not the type of guy that wants to hear, I'm going to get this on this day at this time, and you not be there and show up. Okay? You either want to do something or you don't. Bottom line. Okay? Some donate, some buy bracelets, some don't. Okay? That is completely up to you. What I'm not going to do is spend time making bracelets for a custom order, which takes time and inventory, and then go to a person for a delivery and they tell us to come at a certain time and then they not show up. Okay? Do what you say you're going to do. If you make a mistake and you can't do something, own up to it. Okay? Everybody goes through things. That's that. Now, how does this tie in to what we're talking about? Procrastination can get you in a lot of trouble. Okay? And the biggest phrase that I hear, even with people with disabilities, is I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll get around to it. It'll get done. Listen, do not take your time that you have on this earth for granted. Because if you do, I'm telling you, that time clock will sneak up on you, and pretty soon you won't have any time left. Okay? We don't know how much time we have on this earth from here until the end. Okay? Hopefully I make it till tomorrow, but we don't know. And I think we play with time as if it's endless. And I want to say this, disabled or not, time is not endless for anybody. It's not endless for humans. It's not it's not endless for animals. It's not endless. And I think people, whether you have a disability or not, take it for granted. Life is such that and I've learned the hard way. Procrastination is easy. Okay? To say I'll get to you when you literally have no intention of getting to me, and knowing that you have no intention of getting to me, that's different. There are people that are genuine. When they say they're going to do something, they do it, and I appreciate it. I was taught 3 basic rules to be a man. You do what you say you're going to do. You don't lie, and you don't go behind anybody's back, because when that happens, your accountability and your credibility changes. Now, credibility, and I'm gonna talk a little about this during the show. To look at time, all right, we break it down. This world is divided into seconds, which turn into minutes, which turn into hours, which turn into days, weeks, months, years, so on and so forth. Why do people put things off? Because it's convenient and because it's easy. Okay? Now, one of the things that I said I was going to do today, and I didn't because a couple of things came up, was I was going to clean the whole house. I'm looking at my house going, this needs to be moved around. I got a room back there. Kim knows me. When I get something on my mind and it chews at me, I've got to go work on it. So I took a minute and I played a couple of video games and just kind of de-stressed, because I haven't played video games in a while. You got to take care of this up here. Your mental health is so important. People let things stress them out to the point where they can't think. Okay? Money is the number one stressor in the entire world. How in the hell are we going to pay the rent? We are going through that right now. Luckily, we have people in our corner. And for those people that have been in our corner and supported us, thank you. Mm-hmm. Very much. Not going to say any names, not going to air any dirty laundry on the air. What you need to realize is that time is precious. And I want to look at this show, and I want to go back a little bit. Last week's show was very simple. It broke down CP in a way with Kayla Ireland that I was floored.
It was off the hook.
This chick was amazing. She was incredible. And it brought her nonverbal, brought verbal to a whole new ball game. Mm-hmm. Now, I kind of want to try to do the same thing with this week's show. I brought it to 8:30 because we were out shopping, trying to get laundry detergent and dog treats and stuff we had to get. You know, when you got a 67-pound mammoth that eats elephants, you got to keep her well fed.
Spoiled brat.
I mean, but that's, you know, she's a good dog, but she is spoiled, boy. Now,
Inventory for the website.
well, I mean, and then you got to, you know, manage the web. This is what we were talking about earlier. People making orders and then going, oh, they're not here today. That's all. That's all. You know, part of it. But the thing about it is, I look at time like this. When I was growing up, one of the things that we did every week, which was important, every Sunday, we went over my grandmother and grandfather's and ate dinner together as a family. We sat down and we talked about the week, and we talked about mom's work, and we talked about what was going on in the olden days where they had to walk 15 miles uphill both ways with no shoes on. I must have heard that story 5,000 times. Now, here's the thing, I can't hear that story anymore because my grandparents are dead. When is the last time you sat down at the table and ate as a family? When is the last time? And yep, that right there, that right there, that's the number one. We just talked about that stressor. I am currently I'm so stressed, still in the middle of trying to figure out bills. That is what this is, my distraction to clear my head. You have to get away from the problem when it gets to be too much of a problem and refocus yourself. Kim has noticed me trying to budget, and she'll pull me away and get me somewhere to where I can focus on what I need to focus on. Hey, Cindy.
Hi, Cindy.
You know, but it's so important. And I say this, spending time with family now, in the era that we're in, where gas is approaching $4 a gallon, $5 a gallon in some areas. Understand, sometimes family is all you got.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I literally would give my right arm. I would give my right arm just one more time to sit down at that table. To go back when things were simple. When you when you look at life as a whole, and the biggest thing I had to worry about was what I was going to wear to school the next day. When I was growing up, those simple things about time, my grandmother walking back and putting a warm washcloth on my face, my grandfather touching my shoulder during a football game saying, "Did you see that play?" All that is gone. In the blink of an eye, it's over. Because time has taken away that part of my life.
Death has no respect for nobody.
Death and time has no respect for anyone. Because it just keeps going. So I heard this today. Man, I'm going to buy a bracelet from you. I'm going to get back to you. But the look on his face was not, I want to buy a bracelet. It was, do I have to? And I looked right at him and said, look, man, you ain't got to buy one if you don't want to. Do me a favor. Don't tell me you're going to buy one and not do it.
Exactly.
Now, I'm not trying to pressure anybody. I'm not a pressure salesman. I've been a salesman my whole life. I'm pretty sure I was selling diapers in the womb because I sure as hell weren't using them. But my grandmother used to say, boy, you can sell ice water to an Eskimo and talk a starving dog, out of his bone. I said, Nanny, am I that good? She said, yeah, boy. She said, man, you sold me on going to Hardy. See, let me explain something. Life, what do I mean by simple? Okay. When I was growing up, I had Lord, three chores I had to do. I had to do the dishes, clean the baseboards, clean the bathroom, and make sure my room was straight. Okay. That was my life growing up. I couldn't say I'll get to it. Because you know what my mom would get to? Beating my butt. Okay? My mother had to spank me twice my whole life. I think, Christopher, I ain't seen you in a long time. Welcome back, buddy. I I love this right here. I love this because we were just talking about it. Spend as much time with family as you can. I lost my sister 3 months ago today and miss her every minute of every day. You know, I'm literally in the middle of talking about my grandparents, and I would probably say I spent 60-40, 60% with my mom and 40% with my grandparents because my mom worked 3 jobs to raise 2 kids and one with a disability. I mean, you got to understand, I had a hard working family. My parents, or excuse me, my grandparents and my mom and brother never really procrastinated. Now, as Chuck got older and into that teenage, boy, that procrastination will kill somebody, boy. That Joker, I'll do it. When? Classic line in a little bit. I'll do it in a minute. I have learned that if I say something like I'm going to do it in a minute or I'll do it in a little bit, I will stop what I am doing and go do it. Because look, I've said this before. My word is the only thing I have that life can't take away from me. You can get your license suspended, your ID blocked, your house taken away, kicked out of your apartment, living on the street, begging for food. Your word's the only freaking thing you got that they can't tell. I had to do. Woo! I had to bite my tongue. See, but I'm sorry, y'all. It, I, I, I'm not the standard guy that holds his emotions in. My emotions come out. They come out, and I was in the middle of writing my book today, writing the 10th chapter of my book, and so much emotion came out of what I was talking about. It made me want to do this show today about time, because time and procrastination, because you don't think about the time that you don't have, because nobody knows when you're going to wake up or not, and it's over. And that second that light switch goes off and it's over, uh, you can't take it back.
Mm-hmm.
I could beg God to drop my grandma down just for a minute. Just one. That's all. Let me get just one. Can't. But it's easier to put it off. I'll get to it. I'll get around to it when I get a chance. You got the chance now. Well, see, I had to. I had to. You're right, Cindy. I did. I did. And you got that integrated in your early in my life because my family disciplined me as a man at a young age. I did some stupid shit in my 20s, folks. I messed up my money. I messed up my credit. I messed up every bridge I ever had. I sold my entire game collection that I had collected since I was 8 for $250. I had every system out: Atari, Nintendo, PlayStation, N64, PS4, Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance. I had them all. And I sold them for $250 because I had to pay the rent. Understand? At that time, had I called my brother and talked to him about it, he would have said, DJ, do you know how many games that you got and how much they're worth? I would have said, whoa, now wait a minute, let's go back here. I had 3 games for Super Nintendo that are selling for $1,200 right now on Amazon. $1,200. I had 3 copies of one game that would have made me $3,700. Just like that. But I took the quick way out. I saw that big round number, $250. Bam, there it is. My brother said, boy, what in the hell did you do? You made a knee-jerk reaction, a split decision. And it has taken me for almost 30 years to build my collection back up. 30. Everybody want to sell everything. Got to get that quick money. Because you don't save. You don't budget. You don't get a box. Take half your paycheck, budget on that, and put the rest in the box. Leave it there. Don't touch it. Leave it. I look at my life and I thank God my mom instilled the value of a dollar. My mom is 68 years old and things are starting to scare me, people. I'm going to be honest. Those memories are starting to flash. Those things are starting to flash that shouldn't flash. How much time does she got left? How much time does she got left before she gets sick? She's in Tennessee. 13 and a half hours away. All I got is a phone. I am not making the same mistake I made with my grandparents. I call my mom every week, at least once a week. What do you do when you can't hear that voice anymore? When you forget what they look like, you forget what they smell like, you forget how they sound. I'll call them tomorrow.
What happens if there isn't no tomorrow?
Exactly. I'll call them tomorrow. Mom used to say you should call Nanny and Pop. I'll call them tomorrow. Time is endless. And then Nanny went. I look at my life, man, and I'm like, God. I'm 41 years old. Where did 25 go? What happened? Hell, what happened to 30? I don't even remember 30 to 40. It's a blur because I'm looking now at my life and valuing, Miss You Too says, I'm looking at my life and, and valuing what is in front of me. When is the last time you got a handwritten letter in the mail?
Can't remember.
Think about that. When is the last time you got a handwritten letter in the mail? Everybody wants to text now.
It's easier.
Messenger, right? It's easier. It's more convenient. Anybody know what a letter is? I'm gonna show you people something today. A letter is proof. A letter is written down on a piece of paper with words that don't go away. You can erase a text just like that. Go on your phone, erase a text, and that's it. All the texts are gone. A letter is written proof of something by someone that you can save. You can scan it, you can put it in a shoebox and save it. My mother has Mother's Day cards, birthday cards, letters, notes. I'm just sitting here thinking when I was in school, oh, my mom would pack my lunch. And put little notes in my lunch. Hey, son, I'm very proud of you. I love you, Mom. Hey, son, you're a great son. You're doing great. Go get them today. Good luck on your test. I look at that. I became accustomed to it. I look for the note. No, that on under my sandwich. No, under my cheese puffs. No, I can't find it under the pudding. Where Mom didn't do it all the time, you see, but Mom did that. So then, when Nanny would get me on the bus, she'd stick a note in my pocket. That's written proof. When's the last time you got a letter in the mail? When I used to go to camp, my mom would make me write her twice in a 12-day period. I never told my mom, but I wrote both letters within 3 days of being there. Until I started growing up and going to that camp for 8 years, and I divided 6 and 6. And I'd write one letter on the 6th day and one letter a couple days before camp ended so that when she got there, she'd have my letter. I value that now because my mom doesn't just write cards, she writes messages in her cards. Now, do I have every card my mom ever sent me? No. But I have some of them. I used to write my mom letters. And I was I love to write letters. I do it just because I could, and I wouldn't put it off. But now getting a letter in the mail is as unfrequent as sitting down to Sunday dinner. See, I think we've put off, as a society of people, we've forgotten what makes us whole.
Mm-hmm.
And what scares me is if we forget what makes us whole, we start dividing ourselves as people. We start dividing ourselves between friends and work, and we forget about family. I'll call them later. I said that in my grandmother's last 3 years of life way too many times. And it was my fault. I look at it now and it was my fault because I chose not to pick up the phone because I said, I can't handle them like this. All I would have had to do was dial the number and listen to my grandmother or grandfather's voice. Sure, they said the same thing over and over. It don't matter. You are getting some form of quality time, and at some point, there's going to be clarity in that conversation. Because when Nanny said, I love you, it was always clear.
Mm-hmm.
When Pop said, I love you, it was always clear. I can't hear that no more. Because I chose not to call. I chose to say, I can't handle them like that. I can't see them like that. Alzheimer's, talking to pillows, sundowners, the worst times. And cancer will eat you up.
Mm-hmm. Sure will.
Cancer has taken away more members of my family than I can care to relate to. And I think back to college. I was in Woodrow Wilson Center for Employment. I was my first year of college. I was on a football team and I was getting ready to take my exams. And I took my exams and I came out of the exam room and there were 5 people standing where I was. And I said, oh, Jesus, what's going on? DJ, what did you do? And the first thing out of one of the officers' mouths is, you need to go to the nurse's office and call your mom. All I remember is everybody move. Everybody move. I had 12 friends run with me to the nurse's office, whole football team. I said, we got to go now. And I left. I mean, I got out that door, busted the door wide open, went down the thing, snow everywhere, hopping snowmobiles and going through snow plows. And I didn't care. I just ran my chair right through that bitch and went right in there. And I called my mom, and my mom said, well, I had cancer in my stomach. She said I was in the bathtub, I was in the shower the other day, and I passed out. And I didn't know that my blood level was so low and my white and red cell count was so low that I almost didn't come back. I had a tumor in my stomach. They took it out, and I'm fine. I'm okay now. My mom's been cancer free for, gosh, almost 20 years now. But the thing about it is, at that time, I'm thinking, why didn't you tell me before? I was mad. What the hell did you do? She said, you were taking your exams, and the only thing you would have wanted to do was come home. You wouldn't have concentrated. You wouldn't have passed your test. Mama, I didn't care about no damn test. I care about you. She said, exactly. I need you to secure your future. Think about something. Family thinks ahead. Parents think ahead. They tell you the stuff you don't want to hear but you need to.
Yep.
Most of them. Most of them. I said, Mom, you ever do that to me again, I will drop kick you. I I think that is the only time I've ever mentioned that statement and meant it. 11 players stood in that room with me when I hung up that phone, and they were there. They had their arms around me. I was going, why didn't she call me? And they're trying to tell me, man, look, she did what was best. No, she didn't. She should have called me. I should have went home. You're going to argue that point. It's a moot point. What happened, happened. Parents have your best interest at heart when you don't realize it.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yet we put off calling. I'm not talking about texting. I'm talking about pick up the damn phone and dial the number. All you got to do is, hey Siri, call me. See? There it is, right there. Recognize it all the time.
Mom cell or mom?
Cancel.
Okay, I won't.
See that? I mean, but it's so easy.
Siri is smart.
All you got to do is pick up the phone and call somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Stop saying you're going to get around to something. Yeah. Not a problem. Not a problem. I hate seeing people think that, this is just one of these shows where I'm sad about something. You got to set into the realization of what time actually is. Time is a conveyor belt that does this over, over, and over and over. And we are trying our best to keep up. Because sooner or later, that conveyor belt is going to throw us off, and something is going to happen. Now, the big question on everybody's mind is what happens when we die? What happens? Some people believe in God, some people don't. Some people believe in reincarnation, some people don't. Some people believe you rot in the ground, some people don't. Here's what I say. Why are you worrying about that when you've got the now to worry about?
Exactly.
Listen to me, guys. We have got to take what life we got left, however much it is, and use it. You've been sitting there at that job for 20 years. You got 2-3 weeks paid vacation you ain't used, and you say, I want to go to Vegas. I'll go next year. Why?
It might not be a next year.
You got it now. Go. The time ain't right. The money ain't right. The kids ain't right. Listen, you cannot time having children. You cannot time when your money's going to be good enough. And you cannot time when your time is going to run out.
Exactly.
I'm trying to let you know, stop putting stuff off. Stop. I was going to clean out the garage. I'll get to it tomorrow. Clean out your garage so you can get your damn lawnmower in there and not leave it out in the front yard to rust and the rain get on it, and then you get mad because you done lost your lawnmower. Mm-hmm. So I can't stand the person bitch and moan about something that they didn't do, and then they lose a piece of equipment because they left it outside. Well, if you would have cleaned the garage like you said you were going to do, you could have put it in there and not got it rusted.
True.
How many times did parents say, get your bike out of the driveway? Don't leave your bike in the driveway. Money don't grow on trees. Do you know how many times I heard that daggone statement? I started checking trees for real. I'm like, look, y'all gotta make a liar out of me or something. When I was done with something, Mom said, clean it up. Not today, not tomorrow, now. And Mom was lenient, you know. Mom understood we were tired. We were kids. We didn't have bills to worry about then. I didn't have a cell phone bill, a power bill, a rent payment, a car insurance payment. I had to eat, go to the bathroom, do my homework, go to sleep, and get up at a certain time. That's what I had to do. I didn't have to worry about money or what kind of shoes I was going to wear. And this is the thing, man. People, stop putting your investment in material stuff. Please. Yes, I'm a gamer, but I look for bargains. My mom taught me how to shop. My mother taught me how to stretch a dollar. My grandmother could feed a family of four on $8. Okay? They understood how to make their money work with what they had. There's a difference between a want and a need. When I was growing up, gas was $1.01.
I remember those times.
$1.01. A hamburger was 49 cents. I'm sorry, a cheeseburger was 49 cents. Don't you start. No, ma'am. It's fine. Lay down. Dog was about to bark. I had to stop that. I'm trying to tell you, folks, times have changed. But the things we need to do as people have not. Pick up a pen and paper and write something down to somebody. It ain't got to be a book. It ain't got to be 12 pages. I want somebody on this show right now. I want somebody to pick up a pen and paper. I want somebody to write to a relative or your mom or your dad or your uncle or your aunt, or call your uncle or your aunt or call your mom after you get off this show. Call them. How much time do they have left? You know, I often ask myself, why do little children suffer? I'm a sucker for little kids, man. I can't. All they got to do is look at me and stick that lip out. One in particular. And when they throw the D word in there, it's over. It's over. All I want our child to be is healthy.
Mm-hmm.
All I want our child to do is understand and know that we love him or her more than anything else in this world. Folks, look at what your parents do for you or have done for you. The times you're sick, the times you break a leg, or you have a piece of equipment replaced 35 times, and they sit by your bedside with you in the worst times where they thought you were going to die.
Exactly.
And you wake up. In every surgery I ever had, my mom never left my bedside. My grandparents never left my bedside, saw me every day. Made sure I was all right. That is the part of life that has passed me by now. Here we are, August 9th, 2023. Understand, I'm 41. I was born in 81, 81, 91, 2001, 2011, 2021, 22, 23. The time doesn't stop.
Nobody.
I remember, Kayla, I remember that right there. A sleepover for me, I love. I still do. I just asked a friend the other day, could he stay over, and we would do a up all night game session and run games, and I'd play it, you do it on my YouTube channel. He looked at me like, "What are you talking about? I ain't never stayed the night over nobody's house. My mom ain't gonna let me do that."
We're talking about an 18-year-old.
Well, I mean, it's like I'm not talking about, I'm like, wow, I used to have friends over. My mom would make food and let us stay up late and hang out and not go to bed till 7 o'clock the next morning. Man, I still have enough energy to kick in another day and not sleep for 2 hours and get up and do it again. You want me to stay up till 7 o'clock now? Shit, I can't even make it to 10. I'm old. Yeah, I agree. I agree. You've got to live life. You've got to take the time to enjoy the simplistic pieces.
Mm-hmm.
When is the last time you went outside and watched the sunrise? Last Saturday.
True.
And the Saturday before that.
Mm-hmm. And I loved it.
When you take time to look at life as it is presented, you learn to appreciate life more. Yes, Kayla. I when that happened, everything just crashed. It was like even when we came out of it, people were like they forgot how to live. It was like I used to have I had a friend of mine that used to ride my bus and would come home on Fridays just so we could hang out. We hung out until he was 18, man, and it was a every other Saturday night thing. My brother used to have friends over and play D&D. I mean, we used to be up all night, designing characters and playing game systems and just living. When is the last time you stayed with a friend and had a day to yourself and had fun and didn't think about work or how you're going to pay the bills for an hour? When's the last time you went to a movie or a comedy club and laughed? It is a scientific fact that every time you deep belly laugh, you burn 3 calories. Laughter is the best medicine to conquer all things. Sometimes you have to laugh to keep from crying. Sometimes you've got to smile and put on a happy face to push that sadness away.
Mm-hmm.
But if we keep denying ourselves the little things, pick up a pen and paper Get an envelope. Y'all remember what those things are, right? The big old white things that you stick the letter in, you fold it, you bring it over and you seal it and you put a stamp on it. Know what a stamp is? You put it in the mailbox, people. I can just call. Yeah, you can. Yeah, and it starts all over. It starts all over once you've had it. My best friend had seizures. David was literally my best friend. He was over my house almost every Friday. Travis and Bubba were over my house almost every Friday, every other Friday. And every time Bubba would not have a seizure, he would start counting. And he had the surgery on his brain where it was supposed to stop the seizures from happening. He was a year free, and he had another seizure, and it just crushed him. Bubba's no longer with us. He died at 18 years old. His sister uh, hit a ball down a manhole, and he went and got a screwdriver and tried to pop the manhole up to get the ball out, and the screwdriver slipped and went through his head,
Oh.
right through his eye. I didn't go to his I didn't go to his funeral because I couldn't face it. I saw his mother at my wedding, and hey Dan, how are you? I I I lost it in her arms. I said I wish Bubba could have been here. I wish Bubba could have been here to see it. People were looking at me like I'd lost my mind. I haven't cried that hard since my grandmother died. I I look at life now and I wonder what else is going to be taken from me. Guys, get a letter in your hand and have that proof. Start a memory box. Go outside and find a leaf that you like. Put it in a book with wax paper and press that bitch. Wrap it up and keep it. Go outside and draw hopscotch on the ground and play hopscotch for God's sake. Go do something rewarding besides getting on a game system and just talking online to people. Go back to nature for a little bit. Take pictures. Exactly. That's and I do a lot of that. We do a lot of that when we travel. Kim and I do a lot of that everywhere we go when we're together. Is take pictures.
Oh yeah.
Take pictures because going back and being able to look at a photo album. My mom's got pictures of everything. I said, "Good God, Mom, why in the world you keep that?" She said, "Because I wanted to remember you like that." I said, "Why?" Got pictures of my first bath.
I would do that.
That's the thing. I love pictures. My brother couldn't stand them. Brother hated pictures. Didn't want to be in them, but damn it, he took them. Very few times could get my brother to smile. This world has a lot to smile about. All you got to do is go outside and take a look at it. Don't forget the simple things. Go for a walk. And if you don't walk, then get your ass in your chair and go for a roll. Look at a tree, a rock, a flower, a bug, something. Don't say I'll do it tomorrow.
Tomorrow may never come.
It's too hot today. Wait till it cools off a little bit and get your ass out there. Don't skip appointments or lie during them.
Mm-hmm.
The world is a stage, and you are in charge of your own performance. When's the last time you had food from a campfire?
Never.
When's the last time? I was talking to Kim the other day, and she never had a s'more. I said, as God is my witness, before we get married, we're going camping, and I'm going to cook you a s'more. She said, a what? I said, a s'more. Take time to admire nature and its beauty.
Mm-hmm.
On this show, it is National S'mores Day tomorrow. I'm making you a damn s'more. Christina just said it is National S'mores Day tomorrow. I am going to highlight this comment tomorrow. I am going to make you a s'more. I will make you an authentic graham cracker, marshmallow, Hershey chocolate s'more. I will do it. I will go on Facebook Live tomorrow when I make Kim her s'more, and she will have her first ever s'more. And when she has it, she will want some more of her s'more. Let me tell you.
Can I call you my s'more?
I will, yes, Christina.
What?
Yes, Christina. I will go on Facebook Live and I will video making a s'more. Daggone it. It's exactly what I'm gonna do.
If you wake up early enough.
Now everybody's saying, Kim, you gotta have a s'more. She definitely needs to have that experience tomorrow. It's the perfect day for a s'more. All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, we got about 3 minutes left in the show.
I need people to order bracelets.
I want to tell you this. Enjoy the time you have left. Enjoy the life you have left. Don't just sit in the house. Go to somebody. Spend time with somebody. Write a letter to somebody. Have an experience with somebody that you haven't had in a long time. Sit down for a Sunday dinner. Go visit somebody that you plan to visit. Do something. Don't put it off today. Don't put it off tomorrow. Do it now.
Yep, exactly.
Do it now. That's right, Kayla. Only 3 minutes if I don't go over LOL. I love Kayla. She's so sweet. I'm telling you.
We can go over.
We we went over with Kayla, I think it was an hour, almost an hour and 30 minutes. And she was just laughing the whole entire time. But guys, I will make sure to broadcast making Kim a s'more. We're gonna do that, and we're gonna broadcast it tomorrow. Um, I'm glad I did this show. I'm really glad that I took the time to do it. I was tired, and I said no, I'm gonna do my CP at 8:30. So I will make sure that tomorrow we go online and we show making the s'more that Kim has never had.
Mm-hmm.
I love the fact, and that show was so powerful last week.
It was. It's amazing.
It was one of the most amazing shows that I've ever gotten the experience to do, because I didn't get through a single question that I had
Mm-hmm.
other than tell me about yourself. And there was still so many segments of that she had written out. If you haven't seen the show, go watch the live. Over 800 views
So far, amazing show.
so far. Go watch it. If you have not subscribed to My CP Does Not Define Me, go subscribe. You want to find some great stories and inspire your life and change your life today and get out of a rut? Go watch the over 120 some episodes I have on this lovely show. And it all started with one opportunity that was given to me by the Wilson family, and I've ran with it. Guys, I love you so much. Thank you for being part of this with me. Thank you for taking your time to spend your Wednesday evening with me. Thank you for being in my corner, for listening, for commenting. Our life is so complex. We need to talk about every detail. And I love that about Kayla because it's things that you don't think about that can get you. It only takes a grain of sand to get in your eye to stop you, or a pebble in your shoe to stop you. It's the simple little things that add up to the bigger and bigger things that we don't see until they're way too big for us to handle. And if we would have dealt with it when it was something smaller, we could have dealt with it then. Guys, go talk to somebody that you haven't visited, that you haven't seen. Don't just call them. Go visit them. Go hug them. Go tell them that you love them. And tomorrow, have a freaking s'more. We're going to. We're going to go live and we're going to have a s'more. Kim's first time having a s'more. If you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. We will see you next week for another great and exciting episode of My CP Does Not Define Me. Take care, everybody. All right, everybody. That's going to do it for this week's episode of My CP Does Not Define Me. As always, you can catch us every Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, live on the Disability Global Podcast, Facebook Live, and on www.letgoradio.net. Also, if you haven't already checked out our YouTube channel, My CP Does Not Define Me, where we post all of our show's episodes in our My CP playlist. As always, I'm your host, D to the J with the roll away. If you can't be good, be bad, but be good at it. We'll see you next week. Bye, guys. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in.